Liverpool have their hands on the European Cup again, and this time it's for keeps.
Is this a penalty?
I
think he's gone down easy.
With a chance to... Hello, here we go.
Did I really believe they were going to score twice in the next 5 minutes? This is the first minute of the 2005 Champions League final. Pause. The last thing a commentator really wants is a goal in the opening minute of a game. You're just starting to recognise everybody on the field. Now, everybody on the field here is famous, certainly everybody in white, but Maldini never scores, Nesta never scores. Both of them do look very similar from a distance, and I wasn't sure for 3 or 4 seconds who had scored the goal. What I did have in front of me was a chart with all kinds of European Cup final, Champions League final records, including the fastest goal ever scored in a Champions League final, and I got to that pretty quickly.
Pirlo will take, and it's volleyed, and it's in! A goal in 50 seconds from Milan! Oh, would you believe it?
Got there in the end.
Scored it.
Just before half-time in the 2005 Champions League final, Milan are now 2 up, going on 22-0. They are so much better than Liverpool, and what we're about to see captures that, captures how far apart these two teams were at half-time. It's only 3-0, but the game's over because Liverpool cannot live with football of this quality. Nobody can.
Look at that from Kaká, and what a pass too for Crespo, and what a goal that is. What a goal that is.
What a goal that is. And I spent half-time, because it's coming, looking through my records at Liverpool's record defeat in Europe, the biggest victory ever in a Champions League final, European Cup final, you know, Real Madrid 7, Eintracht Frankfurt 3 and all that kind of stuff. Because, and Andy Townsend, who is my co-commentator, is chuntering away next to me about how this game's over, we might as well, you know, head back to the centre of Istanbul where we were staying. How wrong can you be?
In and Crespo again, from a sublime pass by Kaká.
It was sublime. Look at that.
Out of this world.
Playing football out of this world. I'd love to be able to tell you that when Steven Gerrard scores Liverpool's first goal of the night, I thought they were back in the game. I didn't. But I would never ham up any kind of a game, never try to call it anything other than what it is. But there's a certain onus on a commentator to keep the audience interested, keep them involved, maybe tease them a little bit with, yeah, you never know in football. And Liverpool's path to this final had been full of you never knows in football. The ghost goal against Chelsea, the goals that the Sami Hyypiä and the Luis Garcia goals in the round before, the goals that saved them in the group stage against Olympiacos. So there was that element with Liverpool, you never know.
Charged down by Cafu. In towards Gerrard! Hello! Here we go! Steven Gerrard puts a grain of doubt in the back of Milan minds.
Stumbling for words a little bit, but did I really believe they were going to score twice in the next 5 minutes?
Gives hope to all the many thousands of Liverpool fans.
Probably the worst moment of the 2005 Champions League final for Liverpool was during the first half when Harry Kewell, who'd been a bit of a selection gamble and who, bless him, did have a bit of an injury record, came off, and Vladimir Smicer, his replacement, wasn't ready to come on. It was the moment that would capture the haplessness of Liverpool in the first half. And it was kind of difficult to forgive a substitute in arguably the biggest game of his life who wasn't ready to come on. But some kind of redemption came Vladimir Smicer's way in this moment.
Hit by Smicer. It's in! It's in! Vladimir Smicer! 2 goals in 2 minutes for Liverpool.
Not a moment to say Dida should have saved it, is it really? It's a moment to go with the flow, to go with the glow that had suddenly come across the most demoralised and defeated Liverpool fans watching on. Suddenly, something was happening.
Carragher into Barros, he's laid it off.
I'm not sure this is a penalty.
He's given the penalty. He's given the penalty.
I love Steven Gerrard. And by the way, if you're talking about an individual performance in a major game, Gerrard played in 3 different positions that night. It was a weird Liverpool performance. When they gave the medals out at the end of the night, about half a dozen of them should have got 2, and another half dozen who I won't name were bloody lucky at all to get a medal. Liverpool played better against Milan 2 years later, a better Liverpool team, and lost. But Steven Gerrard played the role of 4 or 5 of them that night. Is this a penalty? I think he's gone down easy. But it's Gattuso and it's Gerrard, and yeah. So Xabi Alonso. The change at half-time, obviously Didi Hamann changed the kind of quality of the nature, the look, the shape, the balance of the Liverpool performance. But, if there's anybody in the world of football in 2005 who you could rely on at a moment like this to convert the penalty and complete the comeback, it's Xabi Alonso, except it's football.
Chance to equalise, yes, equalise for Liverpool. Oh, saved by Dida, Xabi Alonso! And mission impossible is accomplished.
I often get asked, do you think these lines up like in advance? Yeah. During the afternoon in Istanbul, I thought, I better have a line if Liverpool are wretched in the first half and are 3-0 down, and then they scored 3 in 7 minutes to equalise. I know what, I'll write down here a mission impossible. No, you don't. You just go with it. They sometimes come and sometimes they don't.
Liverpool were 3-0 down 5 minutes ago. And now look at that scoreline.
Close-up of Rafa Benitez. There is a famous story told and actually published by Guillaume Balaguer, who's a good friend, who was close to Rafa Benitez. So many myths and legends are written about what Benitez said during half-time to turn that Champions League final around. Guillaume Balaguer managed to uncover the truth that Benitez gave 2 team talks, one with 10 Liverpool players on his board and one with 12. It was pandemonium in there. Steve Finnan was brought off, didn't want to come off. Jimmy Traore was told he was coming off and then was told he was staying on. Didi Hamann was sent to warm up and wasn't quite sure who was coming off. It was just football. And if you need any illustration of that, just look at this save by Jerzy Dudek, who was about to be replaced. Liverpool had already lined up a change of goalkeeper for the following season. Pepe Reina was coming in. And Dudek, who, listen, he was a hero on the night, but does he know how he makes the second save here?
Serginho with a great cross, Thomason! Oh, what a save! What a save from Shevchenko by Jerzy Dudek!
It's the nod of the head. I knew what I was doing. I thought if the second one, so I'll just put my hand. No, that's football. Accept it. Don't try and explain it. Just accept it. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And that night it happened for Jerzy Dudek and for Liverpool. I had a line in my head when I saw Andrei Shevchenko walking forward to take his penalty. He had taken one in the final 2 years earlier, I think, at Old Trafford. I wanted to say out loud, he looks like he doesn't want to be here. He looked as if he'd been press ganged against his will under threat of death to go forward and take the next penalty. But I didn't have the balls to say it out loud. And maybe, listen, there's a very famous story about the great Brian Moore setting Kevin Keegan up for a penalty. Do you think he'll score? And he didn't. It's probably a cardinal rule of commentary that you don't go there, but part of me wishes I'd said it.
No second chances if Shevchenko misses. He saved it! The European Cup is returning to England and to Anfield. Liverpool are champions of Europe again.
And again, and again. And as I said over the trophy presentation, because it was 5, and this time it's for keeps.
Liverpool have their hands on the European Cup again, and this time it's for keeps.
I had pre-scripted that line. Of course I had. It's not cheating, you know, because I know when I do a live final that I'm commentating on the trophy presentation, and I know there's only one of 2 teams going to get the trophy. So I make some rough notes of what it would mean to that team at that moment to lift the biggest prize in European football. And occasionally a line does come into my head. And because Liverpool were winning for the 5th time, they get to keep the trophy in the cabinet back at Anfield. And yeah, I'm glad I got the opportunity. I'm glad Liverpool gave me the opportunity to deliver that line. Pretty pleased with that one.
That trophy isn't going anywhere but Anfield.